Wow.
I'm
Hello.
so
Hello.
happy to see that we already have people waiting. Please introduce yourself. Let us know where you guys are from. Maybe if you could add in the comments, do you have experience with wigs? Say whether or not you own a wig or if you've yet to buy a wig. That would be really helpful to know if people have experience. Just wait for some of these to come through. I've got I turned on live chat, so as soon as people start chatting, I should see the comments. I don't
Ac-
see any quite yet.
Yeah, and actually, Michael just commented that it's he's seeing something that shows that you've reached your maximum, which
My
is
maximum of what?
of viewers. I'm not sure where he's seeing that or what he's seeing.
I don't see it, and the viewers are still going up.
Right. Okay. Great. Great. Great.
There's
Great.
no maximum. Oh, here we go. We're
Oh,
getting comments now. Hey, you guys, it just takes a minute, it seems like.
I dream of wigs.
Yep. I'm just excited to see who has experience and who doesn't. Yeah, the viewers are going up, so there's no worry about that.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, you guys. Hi, Linda. Allison, yay, you made it. Ready for all my wisdom. I don't know. I mean, I know quite a bit, but I'm sure people have questions that I don't know the answer to. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited to see how many people are here. I'm going to get us going here in just a sec. I'm just reading through all the hellos, and I had asked the question, if you have, share whether or not you have experience with wigs or if you're brand new and you have yet to buy a wig. That's really helpful to know. I want everybody to know also that we will take questions and we'll try to intersperse them throughout. So if you have a specific question on the topic of picking out a wig, then go ahead and ask them. We would love to help. But we've got the UK is in the house. Central PA. Looks like I love it when people share where they're from as well. All right, you guys, we're going to get going. I've given it a couple minutes here. Thank you so much for coming, to everybody who is here. I am so grateful to you guys for the support. I've said this over and over again. You all have given my hair loss purpose, and I am so, so grateful. And I just hope I can live up to the honor that you've given me by watching my videos and trusting me for advice. I would like to introduce my guest. I'm really excited to have Rob with us today. Now, Rob is a sales manager for Tressalure, which is very cool, but even more cool, he has 30 years in the wig industry,
Oh,
and he owns
yeah, yeah, almost.
6 physical retail locations.
Right.
So, Rob, tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Great. Excited to be here. Actually, almost, I was thinking about it, and I hate to admit this, but I actually have closer to 35 years
That's amazing.
on the wholesale end and the retail end. So any questions that you have, hopefully between the two of us, we can get them answered for you. But again, I'm just excited to be here and help you guys understand how to pick the perfect wig. So I'm going to be here. I'm going to listen and chime in when I can. And if you have specific questions, certainly let me know, and we'll see if we can help you guys out. So thank you all for being here, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, I am just thrilled. I always love to talk with people who have the kind of experience that you have and what you've seen. I mean, being in the wig industry for 35-ish years, you have seen a lot of changes. Would you be able to maybe summarize the biggest changes that you've seen from sort of the beginning to now? What would you say those are?
I guess a couple of different things. I mean, the product in general, I guess, would be the best place to start. I mean, the wigs were much heavier. The colors weren't as vibrant, as exclusive. The styles were more basic. So everything, they've come a long way with how light they are. The fibers, there were no high heat fibers. So if you wanted to be able to curl or style a wig, you had to go with an expensive human hair wig. So all that has changed. They're just easier to work with. Out of the box, shake and go, but you can curl them and flat iron and play with them if you'd like. Think maybe even the type of woman, I think unfortunately we're seeing, over the years, a much more cancer related and alopecia and other medical related hair loss that we weren't seeing before. So unfortunately we're seeing it, but fortunately we've got solutions, and, we're able to help them and help them to feel better about themselves. So I think between, product development and type of customer, I think those are probably the two main things we've seen.
Yeah, and I would think that the internet has made a huge difference in this process as well. Just the education and the availability. For me personally, I started losing my hair in my early 20s. I really noticed it in my mid 20s, but when I look at pictures, I can see the thinning up in here. And I always had really fine, thin hair, so I didn't notice it as quickly probably. But when I first started to really worry about it, I had looked into wigs briefly. This would have been in the very early 2000s, maybe even the year 2000. And, the internet was around, but it wasn't what it is now. You weren't looking for these kinds of things online. Online shopping really wasn't a thing. And there was a local wig store, but all of the wigs were what people refer to as old lady wigs. They were basic cap, they had huge permatees and, nothing like we have today. So I'm just really grateful for the advancement. And I think along with that is more and more women are seeking hair loss solutions, which also encourages more advancement and more product development, which I think we'll talk about in a little while, because I'd love to pick your brain about that. But let's start by talking about the perfect wig. And I think we should set some expectations. So, one of the things I've learned in this journey is having realistic expectations of what wigs can do and what they really can't do very well is really, I think, crucial to success. And so one of the expectations I'd like to set is, if we're putting the pressure on ourselves to truly pick the perfect wig in every way, I think we set ourselves up for a little bit of disappointment, especially if you're brand new to maybe thinking about wigs and you've been losing your hair for a long time. I think there's a difference between someone who loses their hair suddenly but had hair and maybe had full hair, and someone who's been losing their hair gradually over time and have been dealing with very, very thin hair. So my hair loss story, which I sort of alluded to, is, I've been losing it. I've called it the slow death of my hair for over 25 years. And, I tried hair fibers, I tried every thickening product on the market, vitamins, and all of these things. So when I came to wigs, I was pretty desperate. My hair was very thin and had been for years. And so when I first discovered wigs, every wig was overwhelming to me because I didn't come from a place of having very much hair. And so I do think if that's you, any of you out here watching, just keep that in mind. It's a process, it's a journey. It does take time. And the reason I wore this wig to start this video is because I wanted to give an example of something that you can do with a wig to help you as you kind of transition into getting used to seeing yourself with more hair. And that is styling your wigs. You can style your wigs. Every wig can be styled. It can be styled with headbands. It can be styled with clips and bobby pins and all kinds of accessories. And so I want you to keep your mind open to the fact that you may have to play with your wigs. We're going to show you some wigs today that are like shake and go, perfect out of the box, but that doesn't mean you may not have to style them in the beginning.
Right. And let me go back to your point before about, the wigs were a little overwhelming and much for you. If you've gone for so many years and your hair is thin, and then you put a wig on, and we get this a lot in the salons. Oh my God, this is too much hair for me. It's not. You've spent the last 5 or 8 or 10 years, so with the thinning hair that you're just not used to it. So we say, you know what? Keep it on for a little bit. Walk around the store. Go look in a different mirror, and it starts to grow, and you start getting used to it. So that was a very good point. Yeah.
That's for sure. And you guys, I know I've seen some of the names pop up. I know some of you have a lot of experience. If you have any tips for the new wig wearer, because I know we're going to get a lot of them either in this or in the replay, leave them in the comments. Help people to understand what helped you. I've told people over and over again, wear a wig, like you just said, wear it around the house for a few hours every day for a week. You would be so surprised at how your brain starts to get used to seeing yourself with more hair and you get more comfortable with it. It's like a switch flips in your brain, and suddenly a wig that you didn't think you would ever be able to wear becomes your favorite wig. I've seen it over and over again. I've talked to thousands of women, and this is really, really common. Rob, talk a little bit about working with people in the shops. You own 6 salons, and so you guys have seen tons of women coming for the first time. What are some of the ways you guide them in thinking about picking out a wig?
I mean, there's just so many. I mean, we get so many different types of. I guess, of individuals in there with different personalities, right? And people handle things differently, right? We get some in that have just been diagnosed with whether it's cancer or alopecia, and they come in and they're just a mess, and some of them can't even process it the first time, right? I mean, we try to hold their hand and we try to comfort them and we try to give them a complete education, right? So this is what you're going to need. Let's show the wigs, let's try them on, let's see what feels right for you. Sometimes we may get somebody in that may want a certain type. They may come in saying, oh, I want a human hair wig. Why do you want a human hair wig? Well, because my hairdresser told me so. Well, you have problems with your left shoulder and you're left-handed. A human hair wig that you have to style all the time may not be best for you. So what about your lifestyle? What are you looking for? What can we do that's going to best suit you and fit you? We recommend that you bring somebody with you, right? So you've got support. And we just go through everything. We go through. And most wig shops are the same. Again, certainly not promoting my stores here. We're just talking about wig shops in general. That they should be compassionate and try to find what works for you, and no pressure. And if you can't
Yeah.
make a decision that day, that's fine. It's all about when it's right and ready for you. But it's about the
I
education.
love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Pam, I saw your question. So he has stores in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Florida. And
and
I do have go ahead.
no, guys, I was going to say, yeah,
Okay, and I do have a list in the description below this video. I've linked some resources, and I have a blog post at my website where I've talked about purchasing wigs, and then I have a document linked to that lists all sorts of retailers, and it's a spreadsheet, so it has different tabs. One tab are online retailers, another tab are physical locations. I have Facebook groups listed so that you can go find some support. I really tried to be comprehensive. If you know of a physical wig shop that you can recommend, let me know and I'll add it to the list. But I know that not everybody has physical locations close to them, so I have listed online retailers as well. And before we kind of get into the components of these wigs and what people should be looking for, I think it's important to recognize that online shopping is a viable way to shop. There is so much education online to help you understand wigs. I don't want anybody who can't go into one of Rob's shops or another shop that might have great support to feel like they don't have any options. I do think that there are a lot of options, and Tressalure actually has a list of great online retailers. They created a landing page for the perfect wig. I do have that linked below, and they've listed some retailers that they feel provide great service and support. So you can find an online retailer, and they carry Tressalure, but other wigs as well. I want to be clear that Tressalure has sponsored this video. They've made it possible for this video to happen, but this isn't an advertisement just for Tressalure wigs. They really do want to help this community, and they're all about the support for this community. So let's talk a little bit about what kind of the components of a perfect wig. So one of the things I love, and I'm going to be showing all heat-friendly synthetic wigs today, but there are synthetic wigs that aren't heat-friendly. There are human hair wigs. There are toppers. There's all kinds of hair solutions out there. Just because I'm showcasing a certain type today doesn't mean that there's all that there is. I have a new wig wear series, 8 episodes long, to help educate you on wigs. And my very first video in that series talks all about the different types of cap construction and fibers. That is linked below as well to help you. So let's talk about this wig right here and why I chose this wig first. The wig I have on is called Flawless Waves by Tressalure, and I had to write all the colors down. This one's in the color 14/26/R10. So one of the coolest things about synthetic wigs today is that they have a really natural appearance, and they use great dynamic colors that you would find in people's hair, whether or not they go to a salon. So you get some colors that are clearly salon colors, like this one, which I'll talk about in a moment. But then you can get colors that are really natural, that don't scream salon, because some people don't want attention called to their hair. They don't want someone coming, some of you don't want anybody to know, and you don't want to answer questions about it. You don't want someone coming up to you and saying, where do you get your hair done? And so you do have some choices for the different types of hair and the different types of colors. And so, Rob, tell us a little bit about the color variety that Tressalure offers and kind of what goes into thinking about the colors that you're going to offer. Because you have salon colors, you have fashion colors, and you have really natural colors.
Yeah, again, trying to have a little bit of something for everybody. I mean, we probably have, so we have our, as you mentioned, there are high heat fibers and there are non-high heat fibers. So each collection has its own color range, but I think there's probably about 30 some colors in each collection. We've got several more in production currently. The nice thing about what we do is we'll take, other than the real dark, the black and some of the gray shades, we'll blend like 14 different colors together to make that color. So it's like you said, if you got the sunlight or under a light, you look, you could see all kinds of tones and highlights. We root them. So you're right. You don't want it to stand out like that 1B burgundy that you showed there. That's out there. But everything else, and even with the roots, it just looks like people's hair. It looks like everybody's hair. So that's,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're,
Absolutely. And so when you're trying to pick out the perfect wig for you, I recommend that you look for something as close to your bio hair color as you can find, because that's going to be the easiest transition. I think I saw someone's comment that said she went in and like got a wig that is different than her hair and she loved it. And that can absolutely happen. But I do think that for the vast majority of people, if you go as close to your bio hair style and color that you can, that's going to be an easier transition. There's time to branch out. There's time to be the blonde that you've always wanted to be if you're a brunette, and to try some of these super fun fashion colors, but maybe not on your first wig. I do think that it can be helpful to try to look for something as close to your bio hair as possible. And I also want to talk about the fact that you can find all one length styles, layered styles. So one of the things that a good wig retailer can help you with is finding the style that you're looking for. If it's an in-person shop, hopefully they're very knowledgeable about all of the styles that they carry, and they can point you immediately to a style that might work for you if you tell them what you're looking for. If you've lost your hair, maybe bring a picture with you so that you can show what your bio hair looked like. Similarly to an online retailer, if they have great customer service, they can help you. You can reach out to them. Some of them do phone consults and even video consults. Some of them you can communicate with them via email, and you can send them pictures to show them what you're looking for. Rob, can you talk? Do people do
yeah.
that?
Yeah, I was just going to say a couple things. So yeah, they can, when they come in, if you know that you're going to lose your hair and due to cancer, chemotherapy, things like that, preferably if you can try to go in before you lose the hair, right? So this way we can get an idea of what you're looking for and what you need. If you've already lost the hair or it's alopecia or something you've been dealing with, then certainly bring a picture. And yeah, for the most part, you're right. The first one should be something similar, but again, that's where it goes different personalities. We have some women that walk in there, you know what? I'm gonna take this and and I'm gonna really just I'm going for it. I want something totally different, or I want, give me five of them, five, different things. I want what, so, I don't know if Sex in the City, if you ever watched that episode, everybody saw it, right? Samantha, she got pinks and blues and she just had fun with it. So yeah, it just depends on what works best for you.
Yep, absolutely. Now I'm trying to get through some topics here, so I haven't necessarily been getting any questions answered. So I will be looking back through to see if I can answer some questions. So if you ask the question and I don't answer it in a minute or so, you can always re-ask it. But I took the wig off on my head to talk a little bit about the cap construction, because that can also help you make a decision on what might be the best fit for you. So this is a basic machine made cap. I think machine made cap is the technical term. I'll always call it basic cap because it doesn't have any cap features. This can really help to keep the price point down if price is a concern of yours. But if you want a wig that is super realistic looking, that you can wear it up, you can part it and have it appear like it's scalp, then you can get pieces that have cap features such as a lace front and a monofilament. So what I mean by that is this right here. So this is a mono top. All of this is parting space, and it's meant to appear like scalp. And then this is the lace front. And again, you can then pull the hair up off your head and it looks really realistic. For me, when I'm wearing a wig with bangs, I don't really feel like I need that lace front. I maybe don't need that extra expense. Some women I've talked to say if the wind blows, it gives them security. But if price is an issue for you and you wear bangs, consider a wig like Flawless Waves that has bangs and you're not paying the premium price for that lace front. Any thoughts on that comment? That's usually
Yeah.
my advice.
Yeah, no, again, just reiterating what you're saying. So yes, it's a if cost is an issue, then yes, you want to absolutely try to stay with that machine made cap. But as you said, if you're wearing your hair up and full, you don't need that monofilament part that it looks like it's coming around the scalp because you don't see it. You don't need that lace front. Some women feel more comfortable, as you say. Well, if the wind blows, or if I don't know, I'm only 4'11" and people are taller than me, so they're going to look down and they're going to see. So again, it goes back to price points and what's going to work for you. What kind of style are you looking for? What construction is best going to work for you? And again, I can't speak for all wig salons, but I'd like to believe, as we do, that most will work with you. If you're on a budget and that mono top or the lace front and that little higher end that you need, we will work with you. There's also a lot of the cancer centers in the hospitals. We have programs that we work with, that they'll flip some of the cost and they'll work. So ask around, ask people, ask the salons if they do that. Ask your social worker at the cancer center, and there's support out there. So
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best things, in my opinion, about a wig that has a monofilament and a lace front is they typically don't really have permatease on the top. Permatease is also called permanent tease. And, a lot of us remember the days when we would tease our hair to get a lot of volume on the top. And when you're looking at wigs, that can be overwhelming to you. So if you find something like this piece right here, which is picture perfect, it doesn't have any of that permatease on the top. It looks like scalp. It's got the lace front so you can style it up off your face in clips, but you're not going to feel as overwhelmed by volume on a style like this. So another tip, as you're looking at what's the perfect wig for you, think about, are you looking for as low volume, as flat to the head, no real poof as you can possibly find? Then you'd be looking at maybe something like this that's straight and kind of this isn't even as low a density as some pieces are that might even be a little bit less density, but something like this is going to be a little less overwhelming.
absolutely, yeah. And then
Yeah.
again, that being a high heat one, you can curl that and get some curl into it and play around with it, and just get a ton of different styles from it.
Absolutely. And that kind of brings me on to the texture. So another consideration when you're looking at wig is, are you looking for straight? Are you looking for wavy? Are you looking for curly? The beauty of heat friendly is you can alter that style if you want to, but it doesn't curl as easily as human hair. So keep that in mind. When you're curling heat friendly pieces, you have to let the curl cool and then it's going to be baked in.
No, so that you
No?
have cool flow iron yet.
Ah, yeah.
So Tressalure has a cool flow iron. It is specifically designed for high heat wigs. You can use it on human hair as well. But as Denise said, in the past, you would have to curl the wig, and then you'd have to pin the hair and it would curl while it's cooling. The cool flow iron has a built-in curling mechanism in a fan. And you curl it just like you do human hair. You curl it, you take the iron out, it's done. So it's a cool flow iron. It's on the website. It's out there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's a great point. And so this one is California Beach Waves. And again, if I were someone who maybe didn't want to mess around with my wigs, I think in the beginning it's really difficult. You're just getting used to wigs, much less trying to restyle them. So another tip would be, if you do want to change your style, you can find a straight style and a wavy style that are similar styles, and you can interchange them. The beauty of doing that within a brand is that you can tend to find the same color. So you're getting two different styles in the same color, and nobody will be the wiser. And I think a lot of women in the very beginning don't want anybody to know that they're wearing a wig.
right. And again, goes back to just the person. There are some women that have always styled their own hair, so they're going to style the wig, and some that have never styled their own hair, and they're not going to style the wig. So yeah, but the option is there for them to be able to do it.
Yeah. So I think, kind of to summarize a little bit of what we've talked about, when you're looking for a wig and you're new, or maybe you're not new, but you still haven't found your stride yet, First of all, find yourself a great retailer that's going to give you support. Obviously, I have tons of videos. There's lots of videos on YouTube. So you can do some independent research and learn as much as you can about wigs, but then find a good retailer that's going to support you, that's going to, if it's an in-person retailer, they're going to let you come in and try on some pieces and educate you. If you can't get to a store, an online retailer that provides great customer service, and they'll be able to walk you through, especially if you can tell them what you're looking for and give you some examples, as well as have a return policy in case you purchase a wig that isn't quite what you thought it was.
Right, and most of the better websites and a lot of the ones that are listed on our on the product page um, do have customer service reps, and they're most of them for the most part are trained. So yeah, it's not the same experience of being in a store and trying them on, but if that works best for you, they're very good. They're a great place to shop. So
Absolutely. And styling your wigs, definitely taking some examples from online, but for me personally, when I am struggling with a particular wig, all it takes is a few accessories and it completely changes up the look and makes it more comfortable. I make a lot of videos talking about styling wigs because I think it's that critical to the wig wearing journey. A lot of us, when we're new, feel as though we have to plop a wig on our head and wear it just as it is. There's no options, but that's just not true. The options are to, put it in an updo, put it in a ponytail, like I wore a headband in the beginning. You can also cut bangs into a wig. And so like a wig like this has a bang template already started, and I could just trim these bangs up if I wanted a full bang. I do have a video showing how to do that. Let me get this separated here. And so that's the other thing. And Rob, I think your salons even offer
I,
services like that.
I was going to say that again. Most wig salons do offer that. When you get a wig home, again, depending on what it is, and if it's a shorter wig, medium length, are a lot easier. Longer ones maybe a little more difficult. But every 25 to 30 wearings, they need to be washed, right? So, do you want to do that at home? Um, the cap, sometimes if the cap feels a little big, they can be adjusted, they can be tucked. There's a lot that can be done to them. Most wig shops will do that. So you drop the wig off, leave it a couple of days, and they'll do all that for you for the most part. So yeah, but some of that you can do at home, but the option is there as well.
Yeah. So what questions do people have? Let me go scrolling back up through these questions. I just got to get them back up on my screen so I can see them. Allison, California beach waves was your first? That's brave, in my opinion. Going with a long, glamorous wig like this, that's cool. Let's see. Girl mono for a first wig. Girl mono was not my first wig, but it was a wig that I wore in the very beginning. I do think it could be a great one. I do, if you had curly hair, if you didn't, something I hear from people when they go curly and they didn't have curly hair, it can be a little overwhelming because it feels more voluminous because of the curl. So just keep that in mind. If that's more dream hair for you, it could be a little bit of a culture shock. But again, clips and headbands and things like that will help a ton to make you feel comfortable. So Dina asked, I know this one's and it depends, but how do you choose colors and shades? By skin tone, what works best with the various skin tones? Do you have a thought on that, Rob?
Yeah, again, it's all about the skin tones, but it's all about too, depending on your situation. Again, if it's a medical situation, sometimes if you're undergoing chemotherapy or other things, sometimes are tendency to get a little pale, so you maybe want to go a little bit lighter. But yeah, and look, if you've been a blonde all your life and that was what works for you, then as you said earlier, you should stick with that. But yeah, again, a salon should be able to help you with all that.
Yeah, and makeup can go a long way in helping a color look better on you. I'm not great with changing my makeup. I kind of do the same thing all the time, and I'm lucky because I have more of an olive skin tone. I can wear a lot of different colors, but I've seen people change their foundation, change their eyeshadow, change their kind of blush to go better with certain hair colors. So that's always an option if you want to change it up or you're not sure what's going to work for you.
Somebody
I
was
saw that Allison mentioned wig wax as a great styling alternative, and I love wig wax. I think it's a great tool. If you have a wig that's hanging in your face and you're really struggling with it, a little bit of wig wax sprayed on here, and you just play with it, let it dry. It's going to give you some lift in those bangs. A little bit more, depends on the wig, but just working with it to get it up out of your face So I'm a huge fan of using tools, styling products to help you get your wig where you want it. You can see that got it up just a little bit. I
Right.
usually hit it with a little air.
Yep. And the wig wax is an amazing product for a lot of different reasons. You can take that curly wig, hold it upside down, give it a good spray. It'll bounce the curl back. It'll get the hair off the face. If you have a shorter wig, you can use it to fluff it up and style it. The nicest and best part about it, and you can do it right now and show them. First of all, it's not sticky. If you feel it, it's not like a holding spray where it's sticky.
It's not,
And
no.
brush, if you brush through that, take a brush and brush or your fingers and brush right through it, it disappears. It's gone like it was
It
never.
really does. I mean, he's not kidding you guys. This is let me throw Trend back on. So this wig right here is Trend. I love Trend. I have it in a blonde and I have it in this red color, 33-130 R4. And I have sprayed this with wig wax so many times. It's not even funny. And it hasn't been washed. I think I've worn it like 20 times and it hasn't been washed. And I mean, look at how I can just brush right through it. It really does. I mean, you have to trust me. Haven't seen me do that, but it really doesn't. It helps. It holds better than anything I've ever tried. I saw another question. What hairspray works with wigs? Really, honestly, you guys, I tried a lot of products. This is the only one that I use now for holding my wigs in place. I love it. It's the best. I don't know what you guys did, how you developed it, but it's so good.
That's part of our Trust Tech line, and there's now a dry shampoo and a leave-in conditioner as well. So they're up on the website. You can
Yep,
look at.
I have them right here as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, great
You guys are
product.
doing some good things. One of the reasons why I wanted to partner with Trust Allure is I love what they're doing. I think their styles that are coming out are really good, really realistic looking. I love their heat friendly fibers. They feel really good. And they're creating products that will help us. And I think, half the battle is what do we use? This is also foreign to us. I'm just going up through the questions here to see if I missed any.
Yes. Just a few people keep saying we're cutting in and out. I don't know if it's you cutting in and out or me or both of us, but um, so
All right. I'm not seeing any other questions. Hey guys, do you have any other questions for us that we can answer? Rob, we need unscented products.
we will put that on the drawing board. I mean, again, the products are very. I mean, they are scented, but they are very, very mild. I know that we've had a few individuals say that maybe it was a little much, but for the most part, so we can certainly address that.
I guess that people are making comments about this. I don't know if it's YouTube or what it is. I mean, Rob, you and I have not cut out on each other at
No,
all.
no, absolutely not. No.
So I'm sorry, everybody. Maybe on the replay it will be better. I mean, when you're using tech like this, you just don't know.
Yeah. Somebody just asked, "What's your favorite Tresseler wig and color?" I don't know if you have a favorite.
Um,
They're all great.
I have a hard time with favorites, but probably this one, Trend. And I don't know. I love a lot of Tressler colors. I love this color. I've really fallen in love with this color too. They have a lot of really, really good colors. Positive vibes say video and sound good.
Right.
Allison said we're good. Thanks, you guys. It's hard to know. Is it somebody's connection? Even if a couple people are having trouble, it could be all of it. You know
Yeah,
what
there
I
were a couple.
mean?
Yeah, a couple people are saying that they're fine, and maybe it's the area that certain people are in. But again, I just wanted to just address that scent real quick again of the products that they dissipate within seconds. So even though it has a little bit of scent, it's gone in just a couple of seconds. So
I
uh,
agree. And I will also say, you guys, I have done some extensive research on unscented products because I get these questions so much. And then I reach out to my community and ask. And one of the questions I get a lot is, do I know of any good unscented products? And when I've posted it on my community page on YouTube, I posted it on my Facebook page, honestly, the response I get overwhelmingly is that there's no truly unscented products that work well. So I love that wig wax. I don't think it has a strong scent and it does go away very quickly. Again, that's from someone who's not scent sensitive. So I get it. I don't
right.
necessarily have the right context.
Yeah,
I
and so,
did see a question though. Somebody wanted us to,
somebody was
can you
asking.
speak to the variants the company allows in each wig? Why the look and feel different in the same style? That's a great question.
Say that again. What was the question?
There's variants from wig to wig. You'll get two trends and one will be curlier than the other. You'll get two wigs that have, especially in the heavily highlighted pieces, Probably more like something where you've got a lot of like stripy highlights. You'll get one, it's really heavy around the face, and the other isn't, so they look different.
So the same color in different styles are going to look different because they're going to highlight it based on the style. But if you're getting one that's the same exact style in the same exact color and they're different, the best that I could say to that is these are, although they're machine made wigs, they're still being put together by hand with and a lot of it. So if one day somebody's putting it together and they're left-handed and somebody's right-handed or somebody's half asleep or they had a rough, whatever it may be, it's each piece is going to be a little individual because they are still handmade. Although they're fed through a machine, somebody's feeding them through and still putting certain things together, so by hand. So they make
Yeah, and that's always been my answer is that, they're not mass produced in the way that like a shirt like this is mass produced.
yes.
And especially when you're dealing with curl or highlights around the face, where those pieces were placed, while there is guidance as to, I'm sure, like how wide this part could be or whatever, it is a little bit depending on who's working on that piece. What does quality control look like? Because this is a really common question I get. And so we've heard the number 20% variance thrown around. I don't know if there's any kind of a standard, like we quality control this many pieces out of a run and we look for variance. I mean, does that even apply here?
Yeah. So the factory itself, after the pieces are manufactured, before they leave the factory, are QC'd. So yeah, they're checking. And again, yes, I don't know that they check every single piece, but they may check a handful in each color. And they check 5, 10, 20 out of 50, whatever it is. So 20, 30, 40% of them they'll check. And then when we receive them in our warehouse, same thing. Before they go into our inventory, we have somebody in our warehouse that's doing the same thing. They're opening it, they're taking a wig in a color, checking a bunch of them, assuming that they all look good, we assume. And then we do spot check on the way out as well. So when an order is placed and the wigs are pulled, we do spot check some of those as well on the way out. So, but again, look, everybody's human, and occasionally things are going to slip by people. We stand behind, as do all the manufacturers. We stand behind the product. If it's defective or there's an issue or problem, just take it back to the retailer or wherever you purchased it, and not a problem. Should be able to get exchanged or get a new one replaced for you. So.
Yeah, so we had a question, can you cut synthetic wigs without fraying? I have done it with no problem. I mean,
Yeah,
you guys do it a lot, so
yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
I would say one thing to keep in mind, use sharp scissors. When we're not hairstylists, we tend to grab whatever we have handy. And just like if you're cutting anything with a dull scissors, you tend to have to saw at it a lot or cut it a lot, and you might not get as clean of a cut.
Right. And synthetic fibers will dull scissors quicker. So if you are going to a salon or you're doing it yourself or whoever, yeah, you just need to be just aware that to make sure that they are sharp. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I have a number of videos where I show how to use a thinning razor. I'm not great with scissors and I'm a little nervous with them. So I have a thinning razor and I use that to trim up bangs, to cut in little, like maybe face framing layers on a longer wig. And I notice I have to change the blade on that very frequently because synthetic fibers are hard on those blades.
Right. And that's one of the other things that Tresor does as well is all of our fibers when the wigs are manufactured that way. So they're thicker at the root and they come down to the end to like a razor cut. So that's why our styles are fluffier, lighter, airier, and just look and lay very natural for that reason as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any other questions? We're almost at 40 minutes, so I'm tempted to log off, but I want to know if anybody has any. I saw if you guys have rooted grays. Allison answered
We do.
that.
Yes, we have several Rudy Grays in certain styles. Yes. Yep.
I guess one last question. How do you decide what factors help you determine new styles that are coming out or new colors? Do you seek feedback? Well, how do you know what to release?
Yeah, and let me just answer this real quick because I see somebody, Pierre Quitar, is asking somebody in Philly. Is our salons are in Bucks? I see somebody that was in Bucks County. So one of ours is in Yardley, Northeast Philadelphia, and then a couple in South Philly. So again, but they're on the. You have the link there of where they
Yep,
of where
I
they are.
do.
Um,
Down below, I've linked a document with all of his shops. And if for some reason you can't get to it, there's a blog post. Go to that, my website, and I have all the salons that I've gathered listed in a document on there.
And yes, we also have unrooted grades. So yes, rooted and unrooted both. As far as determining new styles, again, a couple of factors. Um, Customer request, um, people that are asking for certain styles. But a lot of it comes from just the trends, fashion magazines, award shows, what's happening out there. And sometimes our factories will make suggestions. So little bit of everything.
That's awesome. So somebody asked me to try on all the wigs again. So while we're wrapping up, watch for questions, Rob, since I'm not looking at them right now.
Yep.
I'll do that one last time. So this one is picture perfect. And my color here, I'm going to grab my chart here. I can't remember all these colors. So this is in the color 10130R. I know I have a lot of reds right now, you guys, but it's fall and I wear a lot of reds. But I've reviewed a lot of Tressallure wigs and I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel.
That's
So
the other
I just
thing.
want to point out how natural this red is. Sometimes you can get reds that are really fashion and maybe really streaky, but this is such a natural blend.
Yep.
Really good.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Looking back over 30 years, manufacturers never used to make a whole lot of red shades, and now there's a ton of red shades. So that's another difference.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody's here who primarily wears human hair. I know, some people are all in on the synthetic and some are all in on the human hair. And then there's people like me and a lot of you who kind of dabble in both. But one thing I love about synthetic, if you like reds, synthetic, really the way to go. It's hard to maintain red in human hair. It fades so fast. And so even if you don't have hair loss, but you want to wear reds, I know some women who've discovered wigs because they found that they can get the colors that they want and not damage their bio hair.
Right.
So
Yeah, and
I think that's awesome.
yep, somebody's just asking, can you cut bangs into a lace front wigs with a part down the middle? And yes, you could do it. When I say you, I'm not saying that you yourself should do it at home, unless you know what you're doing. But to answer the question, yes, it can be done by somebody that knows what they're doing. So yes.
Yeah. This is California Beach Waves, and the color is 1B burgundy. 1B is a soft black. So this is essentially black and vibrant burgundy.
That's
I have
beautiful.
a review of this style in red, but not a bold red like this. So if you want to see it in a more natural red, you can find that on YouTube. And then the last one is the Flawless Waves. This is what I started with, that I had a headband on
Right, which
with.
is the trend that you had on. But the trend is a lace front mono top, and this is a machine made, but basically pretty much the same style.
And guys, that's actually, I think I might have done a video. It might only be on Instagram though, where I compared these to say, okay, let's say you love trend, but the price point of trend, which is kind of high because it's a premium cap, full mono top, lace front. You could go for something like this and pay a fraction of the price and still get a similar style. It is fuller on top because this is a basic or machine made cap. So there's permatease up on the top. There kind of has to be to hide the cap, but while you're getting used to it, and I promise you can get used to the volume, just throw headbands on or accessories and play with it. The more you play with it, you can tuck. Tucking will help get some of that fullness out of your face, which can really help the new wig wearer.
Yeah, just be careful again if you don't have any hair. So what are you doing on the sides here when you're tucking? You're leaving a little bit out?
Well, I have bio hair on the sides, which
Okay.
isn't going to blend with this piece, so I would have to use some root touch-up powder or something. But if I don't want to show my bio hair, I just pull down a little bit,
Yep.
and that's where a thinning razor can. I wish I brought it down with me. It could really come in handy because you can take a thinning razor and you can just gently get rid of some of that, so it looks more like wispies, like what my bio hair is doing right here, and that can really help look natural. I actually have a video showing how to do that. So yeah,
Awesome. Great.
fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming. I don't want to miss any, but we're already almost 45 minutes. Any suggestions on what product to use for dyeing a synthetic wig?
Cannot dye a synthetic wig. So no suggestions. But you shouldn't have to. I mean, again, like I said, we make 30 colors. I think some of our competitors probably even make more colors. there's got to be a color out there for you. But yes, you can't dye a synthetic wig.
Well, I will say that you can, but it's tricky. There is RIT synthetic dye. I've had
Yeah.
people email me and show me the results of dyeing their wig, but you don't have control over what that's going to do. So if you're trying to dye it a specific color, I don't think you're going to have that kind of control over it. If you're just looking to sort of tone it a little, that may be one option. But again, like Rob said, you're taking a huge risk that it's not going to come out the way that you want it versus just buying a wig in the color that you're looking for. The other thing I will tell you guys is I have rooted lots and lots of wigs with markers, furniture markers, Copic markers, alcohol, any kind of an alcohol marker. You can actually create a little shadow root on a non-rooted wig. And I have multiple videos showing how. And it doesn't ruin my wigs. So you can alter wigs a little bit, just, do so at your own risk and know that there's, no guarantee how things will turn out.
Right. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Rob. This was
Yeah.
awesome.
Great.
I
Thanks for.
appreciate it. Super fun for me to learn this stuff. If you guys have any additional questions, let me know and I'll make sure to either do a future video and answer them, or if they're specific to Tressalor, I'll get them over to them and see if I can get answers for you. Thanks for
Awesome.
coming. You guys are awesome.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks, Denise.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.